Hello, everybody. Hi there. We seem to be live for another edition of the Poetry of Painting, which is this week. We have a wonderful guest joining us again, one of our newer guests, Margaret Karim, all the way from Gibraltar. So just bear with me while I bring Margaret onto the screen, waiting in the wings there. Hi, Margaret. How are you?
Hello, Fiona.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. Very, very warm, but fine. Lovely to be on again.
And it's brilliant to have you back. And what sort of temperature is it there at the moment, Margaret?
I would say it's about 28 degrees. That's that sort of, but it's a very humid heat, a very where you have a shower and within 2 seconds you're just soaking again. But I'm not going to complain. It's beautiful, and we're literally guaranteed this weather all the way. Well, we'll have the odd day where it rains or, when we have clouds. But generally speaking, we will have this weather all the way through until probably mid-October.
Wow.
So, we can plan things. We can plan where we're going next week, next month, which is something that I couldn't do when I was in England. And I still can't get over it, to be honest, to be able to plan. Because in England, you'd say, well, we'll have a barbecue on Saturday, and then on Saturday, pour down with the rain.
Oh, dear. Well, we've been joined by Chris, who says it's lovely to be with you again, and it's lovely to have you back with us again.
Thank you,
Chris. And welcome to everybody else who joins the show. And please, as normal, make comments and ask questions. And thank you very much for watching. So, Margaret, the painting that you chose for this week for the poem is this one here called Al Fresco Dining, which you can plan in Gibraltar, of course, whereas here we can't really plan al fresco dining, but it's from Venice. Oh, Chris says, sorry, where is Margaret? In Gibraltar, Chris. So in the lovely hotness of Gibraltar. Well, not the humidity, but the heat. Lovely.
Yes.
So this painting was from one of my trips to Venice, not actually painted on site because it is, as you can see, a little bit larger. I think it's 24 by 18 inches. So it was painted from sketches and things back in the studio in oils on canvas. And Margaret has done me the honour of writing a wonderful poem about it. So let me add the painting so that you can see it a little bit better, those who are watching. Oh, Chris says he knows Gibraltar really well. So I think he's been there a few times, Margaret. So I've only been there once. But, so Margaret, would you like to read your poem for us now?
Yes. Okay, shall I start?
Yes, lovely, thank you.
Okay. The title is Venetian Evening. Okay, Gothic architecture, shadowy warmth, tables covered in white linen cloths, indigo night sky, canopied bar, welcoming ambience seen from afar, an outdoor stage artfully designed to capture attention, spellbind. Patrons sit outside under muted light, intent on putting world to rights. Discuss global affairs, political views, chit-chat, laugh, share personal concerns too. Al fresco dining, relaxed conversation, voices fueled by emotion on occasion. Venetian evening, unhurried, slow, sienna, ochre tones, umber glow.
Lovely. I love
a bit nervous.
Yeah. You were fine, Margaret. You don't need to be nervous. It's just you and me and Chris, so there's no need to be nervous whatsoever. So that was lovely. I love the different nuances you get in there of all the different things that are going on and happening around it. It's lovely.
I
Telling a whole
think that's what
story.
I love about this painting. It creates a world in my head. I mean, I can actually, it's as if I'm each of those people that are sitting at the table, in their minds. I'm almost transported there, and I think that's why I loved this painting so much. And also, I love these. These are my favourite colours. These muted, orangey, rusty. I just think they're such beautiful colours. They're calming, they're relaxing, and they create atmosphere, especially in Venice, where you've got those old buildings and the cobblestones. And I mean, this scene, you could see it. Okay, you may not have the canopy. The people may be dressed differently, but you can imagine that scene 200 years ago, and in 200 years' time. It's just so beautiful. It really is.
Yeah. And of course, the colours of the buildings in Venice are just so gorgeous, and with the warm lighting there outside the restaurant, it just makes it just glow and come alive, doesn't it?
That's what it is, isn't it? It's that glow. It's almost as if like a stage. Everything else disappears apart from what's there. You know, it's beautiful. It really is. I've never been to Venice, Fiona, and it's one of the places. Never, ever. And it's one of the places that I've always wanted. It feels almost like my spiritual home or my creative home, like something pulls me towards it. And I was going to say to you, there's an author called, I think she died, but her name is Donna Leon, and she created a detective and a series of books in Venice, and she captures every nuance of the culture, the infighting, everything. She just captures everything about Venetian life, and it's so, you know, they're beautiful books, really lovely books to read.
Right. Maybe afterwards you could put in her name in the comments so that people can look her up.
Because I think they really are worth a read. They transport you there, but she wrote so beautifully as well. And she just also, the world she describes is very similar to Gibraltar life.
Right.
And that is, so I was really it's just so interesting. And I just love, sadly, as I say, I think she died fairly recently, but she wrote about 10 books about this detective. And they're really are worth reading. Oh, that's my Riley barking.
Obviously commenting on your plans to go to bed.
I think so.
You really must go. It is absolutely such an amazing place. You know, I've been in sort of October time as well, and it's, I think if you go a little bit out of the season, it's rather nice because it's a bit quieter, but it's, you know, the weather's still lovely. So, maybe I've just been
what's
lucky,
the best time for you to go for your painting, for light, for the light that you enjoy?
I think we were there actually painting in September, I think it was.
I thought,
was lovely. It was a little bit after the main holiday season. The light was still good, you know, good length of the days as well. So, you know, obviously in the middle of winter, you've got much more restricted daylight hours, but no, it was lovely. Really thoroughly enjoyed it.
Also, the light changes depending on the obviously on the seasons. Like here, for example, the light and sound, everything changes in the summer, and then as it gets, although we don't really have a proper winter, but as it turns to autumn or whatever, the light changes, especially as the sunset. You notice it, especially at sunset time, just before sunset in September, October. The light, there's this milky light, which is just, and I wish I could paint, because that light is just so beautiful. It really, really is. But it doesn't last long. It lasts maybe half an hour or so each evening. But the world is just bathed in this glow, this milky glow. It's just so beautiful.
Magic. Well, maybe you should learn to paint as well.
Oh, I mean, I do try, especially, I used to look after a young man, I think I may have told you, who's autistic and he's got other disabilities. And he used to ask me to draw cats and dogs and houses, and even a child could draw better. I don't think it's my forte.
But you feel that. But did he say, well, that's no good? I bet he really enjoyed it.
Well, he used to laugh. I think he used to, I don't think he was laughing at me. I think he loved the fact that I could create my version of a cat. And in his mind, that was amazing, you know, that I could, it's the same with Lego. I used to make sofas for him out of Lego, and little miniature babies, and standard lamps, and even fruit, like little bananas, and out of Lego. Not Lego, beg your pardon, plasticine.
Right.
And I used to make, you know, fruit bowls with the grapes and everything. And I think it was the idea that I could do that. He just found it. He found it because of the way his brain works. He just found it fascinating, but he never wanted to do it himself. I used to try and say, "Come on, you do it," and he'd say, "No, Margaret, do it." So I would do it for him, but he loved it. He absolutely loved that, me creating this world for him. You know, bless him.
Yeah. Mind you, I don't know if you'd have time for that now with all your poetry writing as well, because I gather you've had some good success at the Writers' Club as well with one of your poems.
That's right. Yeah. I wrote a poem, and it was accepted at the Writers' Club. And what they do, the Writers' Club, is you submit to a prompt, but you don't have to stick to the prompt. You can send with whatever you want. And I've been sending to them for about the last 10 weeks or so. And to date, they've accepted them all for the weekly showcase. And I'm really, really proud. I'm so proud of it, because the standard, I always try to progress. I don't take just writing for granted. I like to progress and learn and all the rest of it, and try new things. And the standard there is quite high, and to me, and to be considered part of that is, you just think, oh, it's just such a boost to your self-esteem, you know. I mean, I write for myself mainly. It's therapeutic, and I enjoy, as I said, being transported into a painting or into a world I've created. That for me is relaxation. But it's so nice when other people comment favorably on something that you've written. I think it must be the same for you. It you know, it's just such a nice feeling.
It's a bit like validation that, you know, you've created a poem that you're really happy with, and someone else liking it just sort of validates your of it, you know. And you may still feel, well, yes, I'm pleased with that one, and I'm really pleased it got success and got liked. I might want to improve it, but I think as well it's the fact of art being shared, and
exactly
pleasure from it. No,
I just find to think that, and I'm sure it's the same for you, to think that my words and your paintings are actually appreciated by others, and it moves them, or they identify with certain. It's just such a, I can't describe the feeling. It just touches you inside.
It's an honor.
But I don't take it for granted. And this is why I say to you, I won't just sit there and write. I'll write, and if I think this is rubbish, I won't share it. I'll leave it there, and maybe I might find a way to make it better or whatever. But I refuse to share something that I know isn't the best that I can do.
Yes.
It's and sadly, a lot of people do that. They lose interest, or they don't want to progress anymore. They just want to stay at a certain level. And it's so obvious in the poems or the paintings or whatever they do, the knitting or, whatever they do. It's so obvious that they've lost the passion. And I think that passion is just, you've got to really want to do it for yourself first, and then for others.
Absolutely. Yes. And to be always trying to just push yourself that little bit more in one direction or another, and it may not work. That direction may not be the direction for you.
That's right.
In which case you regroup and maybe try another direction another time.
Yes.
But you'll still have learned from excuse me, sorry. You'll still have learned from the bit that didn't work to feed, and those learnings will feed into future work and the way that you do want to go, don't they? So it's never wasted, because it's all learning and development and experimenting, and that's what helps to keep your ongoing work fresh and interesting.
And it's like, for example, I was saying to you earlier that recently I've sort of lost my way a little bit, because I used to write for challenge. I used to do about 6 challenges a week, all different types of poetry challenges. And that pressure, although at times I used to think, why am I doing this? But I realize now that pressure was very good for my creativity, because it gave it a little bit of a spark that went into my normal poems, what I call my everyday poems. But recently, the poetry group that used to do all these challenges they're not doing them anymore. They're doing them, but it's not the same as it was. People have changed, things have changed. I still submit one a week or something like that, but it's not the same. All my friends, not friends, but the people that used to write for the challenges, and we used to motivate each other, inspire each other, most of those have gone, because the challenges are not challenges anymore. You can sense that they're just doing them for the sake of it, conducting them for the sake of it.
Right. Yes.
And I really miss that bond I had with all they're not even Facebook friends, but they were just people that I admired, who would enter the challenges, and we would learn from each other and support each other. And that's sort of gone, and that has had an impact on the way I write. And in recent weeks, I'm finding it more difficult to put my ideas on paper. They're not coming. It's like my muse has disappeared somewhere. Maybe she's taking a break, or I don't know. But it's I really miss that compulsion at 3 o'clock in the morning to get up, and I've got to write these words down. It's as if they're really important. I mean, they're not, but they are to me. And I had to get up and write everything down, write a whole poem down. Now I don't wake up at night anymore, and I suspect it's because of that I'm not being stimulated by all the challenges I used to do. So I'm trying to find, this is why I now submit to Writers Club, and I'm trying to find ways around it to stimulate that spark again.
Yes.
But anyway, we'll see.
But something will come along, and
and I always think there's a reason. Exactly. There's a reason. Maybe my mind needs a break. maybe I'm traveling in a different direction. There's always a reason, or maybe I'm not meant to write as much anymore, whatever it is, but there's always a reason.
Yes, and that's not to say that it's a permanent thing either, you know.
No.
Maybe a new group that you find, and
yeah,
you know, it'll spark you off again. And
that's right. The trick is to go with the flow, not to think, oh, I'm never going to write again, or I'm never going to paint again, or I'm never going to speak, or I'm never going to do this again. No, you just okay, if it happens, it happens. So,
and I think the more you start to worry about that, oh,
that's it.
Where's that gone? I've
exactly.
lost it. Then that is a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way, you know.
Yes.
You know, it takes you down instead of.
That's right.
You know, okay.
And I actually feel the barrier if I don't stop that, because sometimes I'm sitting there thinking I've got an idea, or I see an image, and because I've lost faith in the way I used to write before. If it's as if I'm blocked, and I can actually see the wall, you know, blocking my my words, and that's when I think, okay, this is ridiculous. So I stop. I just leave it, and then I come back to it the day after, or whenever, because you can't live that way either. You can't just. It should be a pleasure, shouldn't it? It shouldn't be.
Mind you, the story of the tortured artists, you know.
It shouldn't be like that.
In a garret. No, we don't want a tortured artist dying of consumption in a garret. No, we don't need that. We don't.
No. But do you feel that sometimes? Do you lose your spark? Or
sometimes, yes. And sometimes I've done a painting and I think, well, you know, I'm quite pleased with that one. Oh, I wonder if I can do anything else I like. You know, it is just sometimes, and it's probably because of other things that are happening in life at the time.
Yes.
And what inspiration I've got, because then I'll see something, you know, we'll be out on a walk and I'll just think, oh, look at that, you know, phone comes out if I haven't got a sketchbook with me, whatever, and it sparked that creativity again.
Yes.
Can't wait to get back to it, you know. So it is there, and maybe sometimes we just need that step back for a short while.
That's it.
To recharge, you know, our creative batteries, ready for, you know, the next stage. The next thing. Yes. Chris says he thinks all artists go through these periods. I think
yes. I agree as well. And I was going to ask you, do you have within all your paintings, do you have certain favorites?
I suppose yes. But they may be. Oh, Ritesh is watching. Hi, Ritesh. Welcome. He agrees with Chris. Yes, we do all go through these periods of, you know, sort of diminished creativity for a while. But I think my favorite paintings, it depends. They may be a favorite now, but then I may paint something else that I think,
okay,
I like this one better. Or it may be that my because my style has changed over the years, it probably will continue to change. And I look back at some of my older work that I used to like, and I sometimes now sort of think, now, you know, I prefer the stuff that the work I'm producing now, you know. But I think also with poetry although there were different types of poetry, obviously, and some very sad poetry, but for me with painting, I feel like if I can be creating it from a place of joy, that's going to show through in the work, and people pick up on that. And, you know, many people have said to me they find my paintings very calming and tranquil and relaxing.
Exactly.
You know, if I can do that for people and help them appreciate nature, feel like they can, you know, almost walk into the painting and in just relax
Yeah.
in this terribly busy world that we all live in.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's, you know, and I think that comes through from what you feel as you create. You know,
Yeah.
now, as I know there are some, you know, I've read some of your poems online, absolutely beautiful, not necessarily joyous, some of them, because they are written about some, you know, deep, you know, crises for some people and that. So,
Yes.
and I don't know. I mean, how do you feel when you're writing those? Do you feel that anguish and emotion, or do you feel joy at the writing, but you are still writing about something that is very deep?
My style of writing is, as I've said, I think I may have mentioned to you before, I find it very easy to put myself in someone's shoes, or it's just innate. I find it really, really, and to channel those emotions that we all have. And for me, it's therapeutic as well. If I'm writing something that is really moving, that really moves me, or I'm angry, or whatever, it's therapeutic for me to just get rid of all that negativity and turn it into something positive that other people will think that's exactly how I feel. That's what I love, you know, to do.
Yeah.
I don't care if my writing isn't perfect or anything like that. I just want, if one person says, I can't express how I feel, but you've done it for me, that to me is, I just think, right, that's it. I'm so happy now. Because a lot of people are unable to, for whatever reason, they're unable to express themselves, or they're afraid to, or whatever. And because I find that sometimes, if something like I was saying to you earlier on about a quote that I was talking to you about, and that quote moved me because I'm not able to express, I wasn't able to express how I felt, and this lady did it. And now that's something, a quote that will stay it will stay with me. But anyway.
Yeah. And I love the way in your poems as well, they're not mammoth poems. They don't take up half a book, you know, they're concise, but they include everything that needs to be said, and in such a way as it really does convey that emotion. So brilliant, well done with that. And as with this poem, love it. You've got so much.
Thank you, Fiona.
The different
I think
stories.
What I want to do is, I think I've mentioned this before, maybe in the last show, I want to remove that label that poetry is for certain type of people. I want people whose concentration span is 2 seconds to be able to read my poetry and enjoy it. That's what I want. And yes, if later on they want to read something, you know, really wonderful and something metaphorical or whatever, then yes. But if I can grab them for 2 seconds and they feel, okay, maybe I can give this poetry thing a go, you know, that is what I try to do.
Brilliant.
I think I succeed with certain people, and each person I succeed with, for me, is just, well, this journey, as I said last time, this blooming journey, I don't know where it's taking me, but it's incredible. It really is.
Indeed, and enjoy it. And unfortunately, on that note, I'm going to have to say, Margaret, we're
I've just seen the time.
Yeah. So thank you so much again for coming on, writing such a beautiful poem.
Oh, thank you.
Writing it for us. And thank you to everybody who's watching and making comments and things. And, you know, if you're watching on replay as well, thank you very much. Make some comments and questions. We'll get back to them as soon as we can. So Thanks again, Margaret. Lovely to have
Thank
you on
you.
the
Thank you
show.
for inviting me. Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye.